Alright, today we're going to talk about mermails and the abyss rising stuff. I'm not necessarily going to get into like the specific cards from those, but I'm going to give you some like really cool old water support that a lot of people don't think about, or people have thought about, and they're using it in Majax, and it's working even better because the OTK that they were using was all Brio, because you could send a card from your hand to the graveyard, send their monster or whatever, and then pop a card because you sent the thing that destroys set spells. Anyway, so you get a mad advantage. You get like a plus one because you lost one. Which, yeah. Anyway, phew. So obviously, Jetix Undyne is epic. As if they didn't need more hand stuff besides the Moray of Greed. You drop Undyne, you get the effect, you send something to the graveyard to, pop a card, to add a water monster to your deck to your hand. Your Sea Serpent monster, I think that's the horse guy, unicorn, whatever, seahorse guy. And then you just added 2 cards to your hand because you Gen X controllered, and you got your Gen X controller, and you got your Sea Serpents or Diva or whatever. Also, you can send that, card that I was, shitting on when I first saw it, which is, coming out, I guess, Fishborg Launcher. And in this deck, it's not horrible. It's not horrible. You can, send Fishborg Launcher and set up place for later. Like, I got a one-star tuner you didn't expect. Or you could send that Fishborg Planter thing to the... that would be interesting. That 1-star non-tuner, I think is what it does. Anyway. That could be used. But the thing I saw the other day was Elemental Hero Ice Edge. And I was like, that's adorable. Because the thing is, who's going to solemn that 800-point beat stick? Anybody? Because you can't bottomless it. And then I think it might discard at the beginning of a turn. So unless you're going to Veiler or Fiendish or anything like that, then it just popped your Dimensional Prison before you even got to do it for a direct attack. And are you really going to waste that Dimensional Prison on Ice Edge? Well, you pretty much have to if you don't want to lose it for the cost of them popping a card. And so you just waste. I mean, it is control. That is control. I mean, it's gonna pop. It is gonna get rid of something regardless, and for the cost of a wimpy little fucker. And as we've seen with players playing Gaga Gunman, or is it Gaga Gunman? Yeah, Gaga Gunman. That 800 life points means game. A lot of the time, they top deck that mofo, and they went game because they just attacked you directly. And that's good. A reason Gaga Gunman is so good. I mean, his other effect's good, but I generally see him for that 800 difference because I know, especially in Heroes. Heroes is the best example of this. I've gone, first turn, I've slammed directly for life points, and got my opponent down to 200. And first time I did that, my opponent got down to, and I was obviously at 4,000. I did Hero Lives, and they managed. They beat me. I had Solemn or something. They Hero Lives, and then they Hero Lives again. And then they got off his cards, and then they Destiny Drawed, and then they, wombo, killed me. And I was like, good job. I'm like, I'm not even going to play, because they were joking. They said, oh, I wish I got a hand like that. That would be awesome. And I was like, oh, don't be smelly. Don't be salty at me. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to almost OTK you. I mean, you had, the rating and experience of a, Egyptian god. See, because I could have said God, but I'm a Yu-Gi-Oh kid. So, Ice Edge is a pretty cool tech. And it's a level 3, and I know a lot of them are 4s and 2s, and I know it's not a Sea Sword, it's a Warrior, but that's a roadable target, and I don't know how many more Warriors you could really run in that. And I don't know with Fishborg Galantra, I think it just has to be water attribute. I don't think it even has to just be fish or sea serpent or whatever. I think it's just water attribute in the graveyard when it uses its effect. So, another one that I like is, I believe, because I don't think they listed how I think they're ifs, not when this happens you can. I haven't seen it done yet, but I kind of like the idea of Swap Frog. It's a free discard and a free dump. And then it's a 2-star special summon. You can keep doing, setting up Mulan Grace and all sorts of stuff. Or Glace, Mulan Glace. Because Glacier, whatever. Suck its dick. Because it's Delinquent Duo without cost. And it's a 2,800 point beater. Good game. Unless they're Dark Worlds or, they brought back Sinister separate, whatever. But, regardless, plays Ojama deck, gets double Oja Magic, pluses out the ass. I mean, weird situations, but overall, discarding 2 cards from your opponent's hand and getting a 2,800 point beater is pretty cool. Obviously, Salvage and Marave Greed, I don't even really, if I have to explain that, I'm sorry, I'm not. No, if you don't understand why that's awesome, then get the fuck out of this window. Just leave my video and go to some other tuber and enjoy, because that's not even cool. That's just no. Salvage and Moray are good in that deck. I'm not saying run 3 of each, but do some testing. Find out what's most consistent, because you don't want to draw into all that. That Abyss Sphere thing is awesome with that Mermail that special summons when it's destroyed off the field, because you MST it and you chain it, or Heavy Storm it and chain it, and then they get their monster out of their deck, and then they special summon another one out of their deck, meaning they got more resources, so they're not going to draw the monster, they just special summon, they're not going to draw that, and then they're not going to special summon, then they're not going to draw the monster they just special summon, which isn't attached to that card, and it's not like they're going to activate spells that turn anyway, because it's your turn. So you just lost out on that one. Then they're more likely to draw their spells, other monsters that they weren't, it's like, what do I want on the field? Do I really want my 2,400 point beast stick on the field? No, I really don't want my 2,400 point beast stick. I want this so I can draw into it and then discard 2 cards for its activation in the hand, and then pop and draw or get search from deck and then wombo. Anyway, so that's Abyss Rising. It is gonna be great. I really haven't. I see it a lot on Dueling Network. I've seen it on new Kaiba Corp thing, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro or whatever. I don't play it, but I know Yu-Gi tubers that do, and I've watched their videos and such. But I've been wanting to find some OCG players who play it, because honestly, you can learn a lot from Americans. You can learn a lot from everything, but you won't learn anything as cool as something you learn from an OCG player. For those of you who know why Duloran is semi-limited, enjoy. Because and for those of you who were mad because Future Fusion was banned, and you're like, oh, why didn't they just ban 5-headed dragon? And you just don't understand that there were so many decks that abused Future Fusion. Chimera Tech OTK is one that comes to mind. If you ever saw that Elemental Hero Quasar deck, first turn Quasar like a boss. And the thing that makes it even better in Lavels, in my personal, you had to draw right, don't get me wrong, but if you did it, you could get a first turn Quasar, and then you lost hardly any hand advantage, if any. And then you got a first turn Quasar and thin your deck by more than 20 cards. So, and then this entire time you've been sending random elemental heroes to the graveyard. So if at any time your opponent managed to get over your 4,000 beat stick, that could attack twice and has an effect that negates pretty much everything, and then once it leaves the field, or maybe it's destroyed, but I think it's once it leaves the field, that it special summons a shooting Quasar Dragon out of the extra deck. Then after you get rid of that, then I don't know, you might have to worry about those things. Those things that people are running in Heroes. Oh, Miracle Fusion! Miracle Fusion. Oh, you mean I have every elemental hero option in my entire extra deck at my disposal off of one move that I did first turn that got me out of beat stick, that would have won, that definitely won me the game. But if it hadn't, then I had Miracle Fusion options and an entire deck of staple spells and traps that I never used because the Quasar didn't require Monster Reborn. And then after it was all done, if you managed to keep it on the field or whatever, then your very last Future Fusion still is up there. So whatever you chose last comes out. There's a big beat stick with effect. Again, then you can Miracle Fusion, and yeah. And even if they got rid of it, the MST, you're like, well, I'm not going to negate that. That's dumb. I'll negate Dark Hole or anything else. You can mind control it. I'd love to see you overlay with that 12-star or synchro with it. I'd love to see that. Please feel free to mind control and hit me for 8,000 this one turn when you've got a monster on field already. I'd love to see you overextend so much and somehow manage to do 8,000 life points with your hand after I've gone through my entire deck. Yeah, it won games. And that was OCG. And the reason why I was mentioning DeLorean is because there was the Trisha loop before Infernities, and the same guy, I believe, that came up with the DeLorean symbols of whatever that equip spell is. Or that normal spell, or whatever it was. No, it was equipped because it required power tools. Symbols of duty, or symbols of, not symbols of duty, because that's the dog decks, but it was symbols of normal, whatever it was. If you got 3 copies in Graveyard, you can special summon it. It's like, if you know about that, and you know that deck that banished your opponent's entire hand and had massive hand advantage at the end of it, and used pretty much every card in their entire deck in one turn, then that was Future Fusion at a broken level. And then there was this little thing in the OCG that still kind of exists called A Hero Lives, which had 3 Callable Haunteds, 1 Future Fusion Zephyros, and then 3 Bubble Man, 2 Alias, 3 Alias, Triple Gemini Spark, and then a massive traps, and then you'd Future Fusion with Zephyros, show Escarado, get whatever, maybe Stratos, and then Monster Reborn it, and then, blow, send, and then you could Monster Reborn it, and then send Zephyros to get the Future Fusion, and then you got a search off of that you could summon, and then Digsease off the special summons, and then you could play it again, and then on your entire deck, so you're constantly drawing spells and traps, and use it. You can use it twice, and that's pretty good, especially when you're searching for things that are going to be useful next turn, and that way you're not. That way all your super polys are live because you're not drawing the monsters. You're just drawing like the e-calls that you can't use anymore. Anyway, that's why Future Fusion banned, and that's why Brio's banned and all that. But because all those required Brionac, and the Infernity stuff required Brionac. Although there's a new one that doesn't. I don't think it requires Brionac. It might. But 6 Sams also have an Ouroboros loop as well. It's not as. I don't think it's not as easy. You gotta have 2. You gotta have Gateway, and then 2 counter cards, like so Dojo and United, or Uniteds, or Dojo Tempo and United, or you gotta have 3 of these, and then like a Kageki or something. Just some normal summonable one, and you keep Kageki, or you keep Kizane over and over again, and then you get the counters, and you discard them, you hand, and then you destroy the Ouroboros, and then you bring it back, or something. Yeah. Derp. I mean, it's pretty awesome. I'm pretty thrilled. But anyway, that's all for the text for the Mermail stuff.